Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Sean Olson on the line, and he's CEO and co-founder over at Reenergize Professional Coaching, and he's also author of This Is How I Roll, 7 Strategies to Accelerate Your Leadership Growth and Promotability. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Great to be here. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Oh, man. So first off, congrats on the new book. I'm excited to get into that. So how do you feel? I know it's never easy to complete a book. How do you feel?
It took a lot longer than I expected. It was more difficult than I expected, and it was also much more fulfilling than I expected. Well worth it.
Man, I love it. It's a great answer, and I'm biased because I love books. I love reading books. I love bringing new books to my audience to purchase and to benefit from. So I want to help you sell some books today. So we're going to get into your book and why you wrote it. But before we do, let's go a little bit further into your company. So tell us a little bit more about Reenergize, please.
Sure. Reenergize Professional Coaching. We do executive coaching and leadership development for firms all over the United States of America. We have a heavy contingent of our clients in higher education, working with a number of universities as well as the public sector, but really we'll work in any sector. And the biggest thing about our company is our personalized approach to coaching that, organizations bring us in to help their leaders grow and develop and become more effective. But it really is about the person. Coaching is about the who as much as it is the what. And so if someone was to bring us in to coach you, Adam, to help you grow, they have some things they want to have you grow into. They see a bright future for you, things you can do for their organization. But for us, it's about pulling the best out of you, asking incredible questions, helping you put things together in your life so that by the time we're done, it's still Adam, but it's Adam 2.0. It's new, improved, and better. And so we have the opportunity to go into organizations and coach a tremendous amount of leaders one-on-one. We also have the opportunity to go in and work with entire teams, doing leadership development programs that typically go anywhere from 6 months to 12 months, impacting their leadership. And here's what we love best about what we do is when we go in, you will grow, you will get better. Your spouse will know it, your friends will see it, your colleagues will see it, your bosses will see it. Everyone will know you're improving as a leader, you're improving in your impact. But we as your coach, we don't exist. It's all about you. And that's what we love best about it is impacting people from behind the scenes so that they can step up higher in their career and make an impact on the people they lead every day.
Man, that's awesome. And I think this is a great transition. So let's dive into today's topic. So your new book, This Is How I Roll, 7 Strategies to Accelerate Leadership, Growth, and Promotability. First off, what was the inspiration for the book?
The inspiration of that came from a couple of different places. It started out, honestly, from a handful of people involved in my life who were saying, you need to write a book, and believing that everyone has a book inside of them. And so the thought was planted in my mind many, many, many years ago from those people, and I always thought, someday I'll get there. And then as Reenergize began to grow and we began to impact more people, I began to see the stories of our clients and how we were impacting them and the processes and the steps we took them through in coaching to help them maximize their life And through that, then talking to some of our clients saying, hey, can we use your story if we wrote a book? And they're like, that would be awesome. Go ahead and use the story. And so our book, yes, it does have 7 strategies to accelerate your leadership growth and promotability. But more than that, every chapter is full of stories from our real clients and the challenges they faced and how we coach them through that and how they applied these strategies to go even higher up in their career.
Man, I love that. And one of the things that I'm a big fan of, and when you think about like all the pain you went through to get this book out, because again, not easy, but you went through it, you did it, and now the book is done, and now so many more people can benefit from your work overall and the shared story. So I know there's a lot of stories, a lot of different takeaways you want, but I do want to give in the book, but I do want to give my audience a flavor for the content. Can you share with us just one of the stories out of the book that kind of stick out to you and that are representative of the overall content?
Sure. One of the reasons we titled the book the way that we did, 7 Strategies to Accelerate Your Leadership Growth and Promotability, is something that's happened in our business that we didn't really expect or foresee at all. And that is the fact that 70% of our clients are in a new leadership role. So companies bring us in to coach their people when they put them into a new leadership role. So 70% plus are in a new role, but then beyond that, 42% of our clients are promoted during or within a year of our coaching engagement. And so not only are they in a new role, but through coaching, they accelerate their growth and they get promoted again rapidly. And so with that, these 7 strategies are not linked together in the sense that they're all independent. You can take this strategy here today and this strategy here. But the biggest piece of it is as you employ these strategies and actually do something with it, great things happen. And so one of the strategies out there is intentional leadership. And I'm sure, Adam, with the number of people you've talked to and for your listeners that are in business today, business leaders consistently use this phrase. When I hire the next person, we're going to grow. When the economy turns around, better things are going to happen. I hope that we can buy this new product to take us to the level. And we always hear leaders talking about when something happens, or I hope something happens, or if this takes place, then we're going to go where we need to go. The fact of the matter is that leadership is 100% intentional. If you are not intentionally looking at how you can grow and develop and lead every day, you're going to miss opportunities. One of our clients was one of these ones that was just always saying, when I get the next person, when my team is full, when this happens, great things are going to take place. And I just kept peppering him. I'm like, no. Be intentional. What can you do today with what resources you have, the human resources you have, the business is taking place? What can you do with what you have and maximize it today? Be intentional in your leadership today so that when those other things happen, you're ready for them and you can maximize them. A particular leader was always pushing back because I think hope was his favorite word. And hope is a great thing to have in your life, but not when it comes to leadership, because leadership has to be intentional. And we worked on this, and it finally got to the point where he converted in his mind and he knew where he needed to go, and he was doing it, and he actually got promoted. But here's the best part about it. I ended up coaching someone else in their organization. And they were having a conversation one day, and this other person in the organization said, man, I just need to be intentional with my leadership. And he stopped and said, are you being coached by Sean? Because I know that intentional thing. I'm intentional all the time now. And it captures people's imagination to be intentional and just to carve time out for that. And that's just one story that's coming from this, but when you apply these strategies, great things happen. And one of the things we've done in the book is we realize this, is that there are a ton of leadership books out there, right? And Adam, you've interviewed a lot of authors that have leadership books, and there are so many leaders that absorb. They read, they listen to podcasts like what you have, and they take in, but they don't do anything with it. If you actually want to grow as a leader, you need to do something with it. So at the end of every chapter on these 7 strategies, we have this little thing called Accelerate Your Growth. Things you can start doing right now, today, to accelerate your growth, apply this strategy, and be promoted where you want to go.
Man, that's awesome. Big fan of your work and how you're delivering this content to your audience. So that being said, Sean, so final question, two-part question. So number one, if somebody's listening to this and they're like, okay, Renergize Professional Coaching sounds really cool. Gonna pick up the book. I want to talk more to Sean. What's typically the right types of individuals, whether it's industry, level and profession, or I don't know, whatever makes a client a good fit for Renergize. Let's start there. And then number two, what's the best way for those individuals and organizations to follow up and to connect with you and your team?
Great question. So as far as the ideal client, there's a couple different ways that I view that. Number one is if they are willing to learn and grow, meaning they're coachable, great things are going to happen. I tell people all the time, I could be the worst coach in the world, and if you're coachable, you're going to grow during our experience. On the other side, if I was the best coach in the world and you're not coachable, nothing good's going to come out of it. Good news is I'm not the worst coach in the world, and the team of coaches I have with me are pretty good too. So if you're coachable, great things are going to happen. So you have to be coachable. Your organization has to want to grow and to do things and to try things, because our job as a coach is to stretch you. And so sector is irrelevant. We work in all different sectors. We work all across the country. We're actually working on some of our first international business right now. So to me, it boils down to this. Are you at a point in your organization where you want to invest in your people? Because leadership is about people, it's not about process. And if you're at a point where you're saying it's time to invest in our people so that they can grow, and as a result, our organization can grow, we're the right place for you to come to. As far as the best route to do that, if you want to get a whole book, the book is on Amazon, both in soft cover as well as ebook, and the audiobook will be coming out soon. You can go to our website to contact us. That is renogize.com, RENOGIZE.com. Those are the two best ways. We are on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel, as I do a video blog on a regular basis. So any of those avenues, we'd love to have you reach out, have a conversation, and see how we can impact you so that you can impact your people.
Fantastic. Well, Sean, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at Renogize to help your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Sean, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. Have a great day.